Of course.
So like, let's turn down the lights. So that's the first thing, right? The light.
Yes.
Actually, before the lights, the first thing is that Chris is very, very open to feedback. Do you even know that about yourself?
Well, the thing is, it's not that I listen to everything people tell me.
Right. You got to be smart.
Yes, but the thing is, when I know he's a friend, and I know he's telling with the genuine intent, and I analyze his information, if it makes sense, usually I listen. I think that's what all my friends say. I'm a good listener.
You
but
are.
I don't listen to a lot of bullshit, you know? But I listen to my good friends who I know they're telling me or giving me advice with a good, genuine heart. And if it makes sense, I listen because I understand, there's a limit to what I know. And if somebody from, experience or professional background tell me some professional, opinions, I gotta listen to them. So it's the little things that people tell me I've been changing. I mean, I guess it's been not just the thing, but it also maybe some of the along the way, along the journey. It's been a lot of even my design.
Right.
People give me a feedback, and I think of ways to improve, and that's how our journey has been. It's a constant improvement or revision, but trying to better ourselves on a daily basis, and that's how journey has taken us to this point, and who knows where it's going to take us.
You don't know, and I think it's really pretty eloquent. I don't know what the word is. Wise, the way that you said that, right? It's not just the heart. It's not like, oh, I lead 100% with the heart, and I love this thing. It's the smart with the heart, right? Like I hear all the feedback, and I filter with my intelligence, like things that I wish to implement.
I'm not sure about the intelligent part, but
don't listen to Chris. Look at this.
Yes.
This is not beautiful. Maybe it's beautiful. It's fun, right?
Yes.
He had a glass too. We didn't do this all by ourselves. This is but we've had a couple, maybe one or two. But that's I think what's so fun about you. It's not, and I think that's kind of sometimes where people fall down. They lead only with their smarts and not with their heart, but I think what you're doing is smart. It's the marriage of both of these things, right? Like I take in the feedback and I filter out what makes sense for me, and is that good advice, and does the person have my best interest at heart? And you come back, like you've reemerged in this beautiful way. Like he redid the lighting on the studio because you said, I want to implement that.
Right.
He got feedback on, it's the reemergence of the Christina, but what was the original?
The Christopher.
The Christopher.
Yeah.
So he redid the mouth on the Christopher, and it's
By the way, the Christina Cup event coming soon. And I think this is the, by far. I'm not going to say by far, but I'm very proud of the Christina. I think, we did some beautiful work on this week. So
he did.
Coming soon.
No, he did amazing. And to me, it's not so much like, oh, this didn't work or XYZ. It was more the process. Like he connected with a customer that said, I love this bag, it's gorgeous, I gave it to my daughter, but she said she wanted the mouth to open wider.
Yes.
And that he took that feedback to heart and produced something that was better, a version 2.0, if you will,
Yes.
right? That's the sort of embodiment of all that feedback. And so it was...
And also, to be honest with you, it wasn't the first feedback that I received. Somebody else also mentioned that, and I disregarded it.
It's hard to hear, right?
Going through the same thing,
right.
Because I didn't really know their client that well.
Mm-hmm.
So when he mentioned something similar, it really didn't register. But Mark, he's been a friend ambassador for 6 years, and when he told me on the phone, Chris, I think they could be better. I want to pay you for making some changes for me.
Right.
And I knew right away he would not tell me this unless he sincerely believes his idea is good. So taking that, so it's, sometimes I think there's ways of wisdom all around us.
There is.
Books, now with the YouTube, if you want information, everything is there.
Information's free right now.
Exactly.
Right.
But at the same time, because there's so much information out there, we need to make a decision. Who do we listen to? And my thing is, whenever a friend like you or the Mark tell me something, I know he's not going to tell me unless he thinks it's a good idea, or So then I listened to him, and I made a change, and it just came out really good.
Wait, really good. Like, awesome. So I saw it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, he wanted to give one for his daughter's graduation, the new version, and happens to be is a similar body. And his name was Christopher, and her name happens to be Christina. So I asked Mark, Mark, I have a name for you. So what is it? Christina. And he loved it, of course. And actually, they just got delivered today. And I'm waiting to, I'm kind of curious.
Like what? What do you think? Like, oh my gosh, tell me.
Well,
right?
Yeah, so I'm sure he's having a beautiful weekend with his family, and maybe next week we'll have a little talk, and I want to ask him how did the Saturday dinner go.
Right.
And that's kind of fun thing that just makes my job a little bit more fulfilling in that sense. So it's been fun.
Yeah. So what do you envision? So let me just tell you, if you haven't been to Sandast, first of all, if you're in Los Angeles, don't miss it. So he has the studio sort of split into 2/3 and 1/3. 2/3 is kind of the showroom. It's also where you'll see his art all over the walls, and then the other third is where you create, design, the workshop, all of that. And in the front, he has like this
card stand,
this card stand, and it just works. It's like this beautiful thing where you're like eating and you're drinking and you're experiencing. But what do you envision that's going to be? Like, cause when I walked up today, he was like, "Oh my gosh, it's going to look so different than what you see today." What do you think? Like, in a year, I'm going to come back. What am I going to see?
I think you will see a lot of good people having a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just drinking, booze all around, and a lot of laugh, the music, and that's it. It's a place that you want to just come on and chill out, meeting new people.
Right.
Having some beautiful conversation. No politics, by the way.
By the way, right? We don't need any more of that.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Anything else besides politics can be discussed here in a way that I think I had a similar conversation with a friend of mine.
Okay.
Now the people are so sensitive. It's like you really cannot talk about anything anymore.
It's hard to connect.
Yes, and I just wanted to create an environment where you can come here and you can express your ideas. There's no right or wrong in opinions. Either I agree with you or I disagree with you. But as long as we can have this conversation without the fear of being punches thrown, as long as you can keep it civil manner.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of place I want to create. It's like
this is the place that you curate, the feeling that you curate. And it's funny, I said to Chris, and kind of shamelessly might I add, I said, "Oh my God, I want to come down here with my girlfriends."
Yes.
And I want to have like a girls' night out where we like drink too much, we maybe spend too much, we buy some bags, and we just we just hang out. And like, I think what was really attractive to me was how you said like, we played Catan here. I don't play Catan, but we didn't pick up our phones for 3 hours. And I think it's kind of a lost thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've forgotten how to interact, we've forgotten how to be, we've forgotten how to give feedback, how to take feedback. And so, I don't know, I just love this
By the
rebirth.
way, I've gone cell phone free for 70 days now.
You're kidding.
Complete cell phone free.
Like so you didn't know I was running late. You're like, what the heck? I emailed Chris and I was
Well,
like, I'm running
now,
late.
in the office, I do check my email.
Okay.
But, well, that's another thing.
Right.
The funny thing is, I have a lot of friends in 30s, let's say.
Okay.
And every time they text me, and I usually call them back, because I really don't like texting them, because I think texting is so easy and convenient.
It's so impersonal.
Yeah.
It's because they don't want to go through the pleasantries of, "Hi Chris, how are you? Hope everything's well. I want to touch base with you about X." It's just like, I want an answer from you.
Not only that. So a lot of cases I found was they send me a text, I call them back, they never answer the phone, and within a few minutes they send it back, "What's up, dude?" or something like that.
Right.
because I realize it's not that texting only with you, they're texting with the 20 other friends at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So they cannot really spend on the phone because they have to have a constant communication with everybody else around the world.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
It's weird. If you're a millennial, you're probably like, no, that's normal. But for us, for me, that's weird and sad.
Yes, because the thing is, I kind of mistrust the written form of communication. So another rule that I created myself, or Sandast, is we never discuss price over the emails or the Facebook chat. I prefer to do it over the phone because with the texting or email, especially written form of communications, you cannot really tell it doesn't really tell the story.
It doesn't. And
the
who you're
money,
dealing with.
yeah, and the money is always very sensitive issues. It's never pleasant. So when you mix two things together, I realize, when we are talking price in person over the phone, we know when you're joking, when you're serious. So sometimes the business doesn't get made all the time.
Right.
So it's expected. But I realize when you talk with the client over the phone about the price, even if the deal doesn't get made, we still remain as friends. But I had a few instances where we're talking prices over the email, and there's a very kind of weird feeling, like a kind of cold, like kind of detachment, emotionally kind of feel to it, and I kind of didn't like it. So my policy is, if you want to talk price, call me anytime. Like, you can't give me the most ridiculous offer, but we're still gonna be cool. You know
We're
what
still
I
gonna
mean?
laugh. Even if you can, and I think there's something beautiful about that, right? Because it sort of speaks to like the old days of like, hey, let's do business with a handshake.
Yes.
Because your word meant something, and when you communicate over email, all that is lost, right? You might unnecessarily be mad or sad or angry, and
You don't
maybe
even know what to think.
you don't know what to
Yeah.
think because maybe the person conveyed something that you didn't intend, and yeah.
And you also tend to interpret somebody's written emails or whatever depending on your mood.
Totally.
Not his. So if you're having a crappy day, the same sentence sounds a little bit offensive or whatever it is.
Yes.
If you're having a beautiful day, the same sentence could mean completely something else.
It is.
So it's very dangerous.
It's
So-
very dangerous. And my husband said this to me the other day because I do a lot of construction in my in my day job. I do a lot of like commercial construction, and I was recanting a story to my husband about an email I got from my construction guy, and I said, "Can you believe this?" And then he said, "Okay, that's fine." And my husband goes, "Oh, he said that to you in person?" And I said, "No, over email." He said, "Okay, that's fine." And my husband was like, or he said, "Okay, that's fine." And like, he goes, "Why do you say it like that?" And I realized it was like, I had this lens of like, I kind of had a crappy day.
That's it.
And so I got that email and I was like, what the hell do you
Yes.
mean, okay, that's fine? And so, I don't know, it's just this, I feel like you come to Sandast and what you are coming for is an old school, first of all, craftsmanship.
Thank you.
Old school, like, communication, and just put your phone down and remember, like, how things used to be done. And, like, if you want something done, tell Chris, and he'll see if he can get that done for you. And it's this step back in time, right? He didn't hire a designer to do all this, and I cut you off, but he did these amazing murals, and they're behind you, so you can't see, but we'll tour them. Go ahead.
It's just that little more human communications.
Right.
More human, because like, I want to know you. I want to know if you're my customer. I'd like to know what the bag is for, what do you want to use it for, how you want to use it. It only helps me to serve you guys better.
Right.
So that's the entire thing. Just like, like all this communication, like technology, is great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but at the same time, I think our pace is too fast. We're just totally detachment of, I hear I'm kind of so far beyond about technology.
And that's good.
Yeah, that's just, this chatting thing and all this kind of like online dating, for example. A lot of my friends, from what they tell me, is back in the days, if I want to go out with somebody, ask for a date. Some cases I have to chase the lady or keep on asking for it. It takes 6 months to get a date.
And now it's like swipe.
A lot of my friends are telling me is now there's like a lot of online dating app where you can view the profiles and photos all the time. One try, I want to ask this girl for a date. If she says no, I'm moving on to the next one.
Oh, it's so sad.
Next one.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it's like so instant.
It's
like
so instant, and I just had this conversation with someone else because I was talking about the Netflix series You. Have you seen You?
I don't watch TV. So.
Good for you. Don't watch it. There's nothing good to be gained out of it. But I will say that I absolutely love the series You, and it talks about how we are essentially like this beautiful thing where you had a connection with someone and you're like, oh, I want to ask this woman out. Like, she speaks to me, I like the way she looks, like the way she acts and the way she talks. And all that got boiled down to like, swipe right. And you're like, what? Right?
Yeah.
Are you done with that glass?
Yeah, sure, yeah, let me try the other one, yes.
So I want to talk about this. So I didn't want to bring, I got a lot of grief about this in our last interview.